for 60 years. They are rated A- with AM Best. And just to tell you a little bit about them, Sagicor comes from two words, sage and core, which sage stands for wise, and core is going to stand for heart or judgment. And this company really comes to us with a philosophy of wisdom with heart. That's how they've named themselves. So they're really trying to carve out for themselves a niche in the simplified issue market. So here I am. This is me, Dawn Crouch. I'm here at Ideal Producers Group. Word about myself, I've been an agent now for about 8.5 years. I spent 6 of them in the field in California, working for a large agency out there that specialized in high net worth individuals. I've been with Ideal about 2 years now, and that's the common thread here is every one of us that serves you has been agents in the field. So we know exactly what it takes to make a sale. We know we want to place you in a favorable position when you get to meet with your potential clients. We want you to have the best products. We want to make sure you get top compensation. And of course, we want to make sure when you hand a sale over to us that we carry it all the way through to getting a policy in your client's hands and commissions in your bank account with as little hassle to you, the agent, as possible. So with that view in mind, simplified issue can play a huge part in your agency. So here's traditional life underwriting. And technically, you should be able to just take an application with your client, have them do a paramed exam, and then have those gears turn right on through underwriting to issue a policy. What we find, though, especially on this side, the IMO side, is that very few cases actually go this easily. I'm sure as agents you're aware that sometimes an APS is going to be ordered by underwriting, which can complicate things and draw out things another 4 to 6 weeks. Oftentimes you'll have a client who's just going to flat out reschedule their paramed exam for whatever reasons, and now you're chasing them to try to get them to reschedule. Sometimes based on what's on the application or that APS, underwriting may actually require an interview with your client to discuss further things. And of course, you'll run into clients that are afraid of needles and don't ever intend to reschedule that exam. And then there's the dreaded second APS, where we want to see records from some sort of specialist or from surgery that was completed years and years ago. All of these sorts of little gears that get thrown into the mix can end up with a client who decides to just throw their hands up, walk away from the process entirely, or underwriting could come back with a rated case. So these are the things that we here at Ideal are helping you juggle. But there is an alternative to all of this, and it's called simplified issue underwriting. With simplified issue, we're going to go from the quote directly to the application process with your client and follow that up immediately with a point of sale interview. So the first 3 steps happen in your first client meeting. That is a one and done as far as I'm concerned. We finish that application with the client. We send in a check with that app to issue the underwriting. And the next thing that happens is you get a policy to deliver and commissions in your bank account. The beauty of this, of course, is no delay and no surprises. We're simplifying your life. Now, with Sagicor, we have 3 great simplified issue options. And the beauty is we get 3 options with one carrier. They're going to offer a full line of products. We've got term insurance for clients that are looking for temporary coverage with no intent of building cash. We've got guaranteed UL policies that will be permanent coverage with no cash value to speak of. And we've got whole life carriers. They're going to be offering a permanent policy with significant cash value accumulation. So going through this underwriting process, there's going to be 7 health questions and a point of sale interview, and that's going to help the underwriter determine which of these 5 underwriting classes your client receives. I'm especially happy that there's 5 classes, and this is not just a simplified pass-fail like some of our other carriers. We're going to have a preferred non-tobacco rate for those that are healthier than average. We'll have your average non-tobacco rate, and we also have a slot here for rated non-tobacco. There's also going to be tobacco and preferred tobacco for those that do use tobacco in any form. And I have verified with Sagicor, if you're a chewer or cigar smoker, it's just the tobacco rate. Let's look at the details here for the Platinum Term. This product, the term, launched yesterday, so it is a day old. There are going to be 10, 15, or 20-year term lengths that you can slot for your insured. We're writing this policy all the way from age 18 up through age 65, which is very generous. We can go down as low as $50,000 for a face amount, and we can go up to $399,999. So that's just shy of $400,000, all the way up to age 65. So this definitely can take care of a lot of needs for Middle America. They do include an accelerated benefit rider. In most states, it's going to include terminal illness as well as chronic illness. Please note if you live in one of those states, terminal is all that's available to your clients. As I mentioned, we'll have 7 health questions and a point-of-sale interview. Now, being that this is term insurance, it is important to note we can convert these term policies to any other permanent products that Sagicor offers all the way up to age 70. And if you can get your client to convert within the first 5 years, there's going to be some conversion credits available to them. And that's a hard thing to find out on the free market. I know that on the captive side, a lot of companies do that to try to retain their term business. But that's wonderful that Sagicor is offering conversion credits on their term policies. So again, the term's brand new, just launched yesterday. The Gold Series No Lapse UL, we're going to deal with the same issue ages here, age 18 all the way up to age 65. We can start a little lower on the face amount to $25,000, and we're going to go all the way up to just shy of $250,000. ABR is included in all states, and California is the only one that's not going to offer the chronic illness as well. Same 7 health questions. So once you get used to Sagicor's point of sale underwriting and the 7 health questions, they are the same questions on the term, on the UL, or the whole life. No surprises. Currently, it's paying a 3% annual interest rate, and the guaranteed on this policy is 2.5%. So though this isn't really designed to gain a little cash value, I've seen it perform, and it actually will. For the whole life, again, ages 18 through 65, we're going to be able to simplify issue face amounts of $25,000 through $249,999. And in this case, the ABR rider that's available is terminal illness only. There is optional accidental death benefit or waiver of premium if you'd like to add those for your clients. And you can imagine the way that the cash value grows in this policy. It's designed so that the cash value is equal to the death benefit at age 100. We call that endowment. So let's look at the ABR rider that's available. Terminal illness, you're going to be able to accelerate up to 50% of the death benefit to a maximum of $300,000. Nursing home is very similar. You'll be able to accelerate up to 50% in total to a max of no more than $300,000. They're a little squirrely on this one, though. You do need to be confined to a nursing home for at least 180 days and expected to remain there for the remainder of your life. But with that met, you can accelerate as little as $200 a month or $5,000 a month maximum for your client to spend for those nursing home coverage. Very important to note, this is not an impaired risk policy. We're not looking for clients that are going to have significant health issues. We don't want to get declines on this because it may make it difficult for those individuals who aren't healthy to find insurance elsewhere. What we're really looking for here in the target market is healthy, average clients. Now, most carriers, when they underwrite, most people get slotted into their standard non-tobacco rate. Those are the clients that we're looking to reposition with Sagicor on a simplified issue basis. If you find yourself a healthy, standard rate individual, Sagicor has an 88% approval rate of approving them on the spot through that point of sale interview. So go out and find those healthy clients, and we'll have no trouble at all with this product. So let's take a look at those 7 health questions. Of course, these are paramount. You don't want to be answering yes to any of these. They're very generous. The first question is going to be asking you if your client already needs care or assistance with the activities of daily living. Question 2 is going to ask if they're currently in a hospital, psychiatric or assisted nursing care, or a correctional facility. Question 3, we're looking to see if they've had any HIV or AIDS exposure. Question 4, we're looking for things like Alzheimer's, cirrhosis, emphysema, or COPD. Question 5 is broken into 3 separate categories. They want to know if in the past year your client was supposed to have gone through diagnostic testing or surgery that they have not yet completed or that they don't have results for yet. And in the past 24 months, they want to know about cancer, heart attack, stroke, or TIA, alcohol or drug abuse. And the final one's asking about driver's license issues and questions about alcohol and drug intoxication. So we're not delving too deep into a client's medical history with these 7 knockout questions. We're just making sure that it's worth going through the telephone interview. So let's take a look at a monthly rate example. Here's a female, age 40. We're looking for $100,000 worth of death benefit. We're going to assume that she's got no pre-existing health conditions and that when she goes through that underwriting interview that she's going to qualify for the preferred non-tobacco rate. If we're looking at 20-year term, Sagicor's rate is going to be $15.66 a month. If we compare that against some of our other carriers, Banner would be a little cheaper at $11.90 a month. North American slots right in there at $15.23. Genworth about $1 less. Important to remember, those 3 carriers, Banner, North American, and Genworth, are going to fully underwrite. If we compare the no-lapse UL rate with Sagicor of $70, you'll notice it's going to slot right in with Genworth, Lincoln, and Transamerica. We're not asking the insured to pay a premium. That's much different than what they would receive if they went through full underwriting. Same thing with the whole life, $116 with Sagicor. Minnesota Life would actually be a little more than that at $135. And Lafayette Life a little bit less at $98 per month. Now the Minnesota Life and the Lafayette Life that I've quoted here are actually their whole life products that accrue the least amount of cash value. So I'm just looking for the cheapest possible death benefit. So it's not exactly an apples to apples because in this scenario the Sagicor Life would actually gain greater cash value. Let's take a look at a second example. I want to see something different. So let's do a male. Let's make him 5 years older, age 45. Let's go up to that maximum limit that we can buy, the $250, or on the UL or whole life side, that would be $249, $999. And let's just give him a standard rate this time. So the 20-year term, $68 a month with Sagicor. Some of our other carriers, we're actually looking at $53 with Banner, $56 North American, $61 Genworth. The no-lapse UL, we're looking at $208 with Sagicor. And this is a real hot spot in the market. Genworth, $241 on a fully underwritten basis. Lincoln, we're looking at $217, and Transamerica, $232. This particular case, I've actually quoted twice more this morning for another agent of mine in Illinois. We were looking at an older gentleman. His particular client was 64 years old and only wanted $40,000 worth of death benefit. Again, Sagicor is coming out ahead of the fully underwritten products. So this is a little niche market, and I'd love to run some quotes for you when we're done with this webinar. But if you've got a middle-aged person who's looking for a smallish amount of insurance, less than $250, we need to be taking a look at Sagicor, because these are the cases that take forever to underwrite, and we're going to be looking at APSs. We're going to be looking perhaps at interviews and other questions with other carriers. We can skip right to the chase and get a policy in your client's hands very quickly with Sagicor. Let's take a look finally at the whole life for this client, $429 a month with Sagicor. Minnesota Life comes in at $468, Lafayette a little less at $352. So a lot of agents have big support staff, and you lose a lot of time tracking down clients because they're missing exams and appointments, and you're trying to help push through those APSs. I'm telling you folks, time is money. Let's talk money. Commissions. 10-year term with this product, we'll be paying you 81% commission. 15-year term, we can pay 89%. 20-year term, 95%. That's in line with all of our other carriers. Guaranteed UL, we can pay 85% of the target premium, and whole life a very generous 90%. So this pays well. This is worth your time. Just a little side story, I'm one who loves to cook and entertain and host people for dinner, and it is not uncommon for me to have company 3-4 nights a week. There are times when I have time to do everything by myself, and then there's other nights when I'm going to stop by the grocery store and I'm going to buy a bag of frozen ravioli rather than go home and make them. Again, time is money. I'm putting the same product before my guests. There's no love lost between us and them. Everybody's happy. The same thing can be done with Simplified Issue. We do have a full line of other carriers that are offering Simplified Issue policies. Anaco, Transamerica, National Western's, Living Benefits. Foresters has great plans as well. And Cincinnati, they'll offer even up to $99,000. But no one is offering as old or as much coverage as Sagicor. So this is really something that they are trying to push through for your healthy average clients. I'd like you to give us a call this afternoon at Ideal. You can speak with myself, Dawn Crouch, with Aaron Clark, Brian King, or our Chief Life Officer, DC Couch. We'd love to help you get appointed with Sagicor. They do have a full line of products available for Simplified Issue, and we just want to help you turn over more people in your business, go for those one-and-done appointments. You can work harder, but this is a major way in your business that you can work smarter. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful afternoon.